There are things that define a region. In Paris, it's a tower. In Rome, the ruins of a forum. Here, in western Switzerland, in the canton of Neuchâtel, it has become a symbol of life on the water. Its snow-white hull, the rhythmic clatter of its paddle wheels, and a cloud of light smoke rising from its funnel. They call it the last of the Mohicans. The steamship Neuchâtel, it's more than just a vessel. It's a 160-ton time machine that, over the past century, has become the queen of the lakes, transformed into a floating pub, nearly perished under a blowtorch, and finally risen from the ashes like the mythical phoenix. Today we'll tell the story of how metal finds a soul, and an entire community unites to bring that soul back to life. The early 20th century, the era of the Belle Epoque. Europe believes in endless progress, and tourism in the Alps is experiencing its first real boom. In 1912, the same year the Titanic tragically sank in the Atlantic. A very different vessel was being completed at the Zurich shipyards of the renowned Escher Wyss and Sy. The Neuchâtel was designed as the epitome of elegance and technological perfection. She was a semi-saloon steamer with side-mounted paddle wheels. She was 46 meters long, the perfect size for maneuvering between the ports of Lake Neuchâtel, Lake Biel, and Lake Merton. In May 1912, she touched the water for the first time. Imagine the delight, the smell of fresh paint, varnished wood, copper gleaming in the sun, and a powerful steam engine running so smoothly that not even a glass of wine on the first-class table shook. She became the flagship of the LNM Société de Navigation sur les Lacs de Neuchâtel, Etmarat fleet. Every summer, it carried thousands of people, connecting cities and creating a sense of celebration. But history is rarely as calm as a calm lake. 2 world wars dealt a heavy blow to tourism. Switzerland remained neutral, but coal became scarce. The steamship Neuchâtel sailed less frequently, and maintaining its steam engine became increasingly expensive. After World War II, the world changed. The era of diesel had arrived. Old steamships seemed cumbersome, fuel-hungry, and archaic. One after another, its brothers were scrapped. In 1968, fate struck our hero. The shipping company's administration made a difficult decision. The steamship was decommissioned. Its steam engine, its heart, was dismantled and scrapped. It seemed the end. The ship's hull was sold for next to nothing. But it was at that moment that the strangest and perhaps most important chapter in its life began. Have you ever seen a caged lion forced to perform in a circus for food? That's pretty much what the steamship Neuchâtel looked like for the next 30 years. It was moored in the port of Neuchâtel and converted into a floating restaurant and bar called Bar du Lac. The holds, once filled with the roar of steam, were filled with crates of drinks and kitchen equipment. The sound of pistons replaced disco music. For many city residents, it became a familiar part of the landscape, a motionless backdrop for parties. But for true connoisseurs of history, it was a heartbreaking sight. The ship was rotting. The hull was thinning. The wood was drying out. But it was precisely its continued existence as a restaurant that saved it from immediate destruction. It bided its time. And those who believed in miracles began to band together. In 1999, the Trivepor Association was founded. Their goal sounded crazy: buy the ship, find it a genuine steam engine from the turn of the century, and return it to active service. The price tag, millions of Swiss francs. The Swiss are a tenacious people. A massive fundraising campaign was launched. Everyone donated, from major banks to school children. In 2007, the ship was finally towed to the shipyard. But where would they find the steam engine? The original had long since been melted down. And then a true miracle occurred. In Germany, on Lake Chiemsee, a steam engine built in 1926, also made by Maffei, was found. It was a perfect fit. It was purchased, transported across the border, and literally grafted into the hull of the steamship Neuchâtel. The restoration lasted several years. It was a delicate work, restoring the interior to the 1912 style, replacing kilometres of wiring, and ensuring modern safety standards without destroying the spirit of the past. May 14th, 2014. The port of Neuchâtel is crowded. People are crying with joy. "45 years after its last voyage, the Neuchâtel blows its whistle again. And what a whistle it was. A low, velvety sound, echoing across the water and bouncing off the slopes of the Jura Mountains. The steamship has returned. Today, it is back in service, the only remaining steamship on the region's 3 lakes. When you step onto its deck, you feel a vibration. It's not the mechanical hum of a diesel engine. It's a living breath. Look down into the engine room. There, in the gleam of polished brass, the pistons grind. The chief engineer, oiler in hand, is more than just a worker, he's the guardian of a cult. For the ship to travel at 20 kilometers per hour, the boiler must convert water into steam under enormous pressure. It's a symphony of engineering. Why spend millions restoring an old piece of iron? In a world where everything is becoming disposable, where technology becomes obsolete within a year, things like Le Neuchâtel remind us of continuity. That beauty and craftsmanship have no expiration date. When the sun sets, turning the lake golden, and the white steamship glides silently past the vineyards of Auvergne, it seems as if time has stood still. The story of this ship is a story of our love for our past, and how even the most hopeless endeavour can succeed if we believe in it. If you're ever in Neuchâtel, be sure to take a ride on it. Listen to the lapping of the wheels. This is the beating heart of history, and now it's in good hands.